Hey, hope you're having a great Monday. I'm 90s meteorologist Chris Bianchi with a look at your Colorado weather forecast. And generally speaking, we are calm today and tomorrow. Could get a little mountain snow north of I-70 late tonight, kind of quick bursts of snow for us in a few spots. I think we'll see a little bit of an increase in cloud cover in the Denver area later on today. But overall here, folks, next 2 days, pretty calm. Wednesday, we could see some storms into the picture for us, especially in northeastern Colorado. Then a little bit of leftover rain for us, perhaps on Thursday morning. And by the time we get into your Friday and Saturday, just very isolated storms and a much calmer look to things, certainly compared to last weekend and the end of last week. Right now here in Denver, we're looking at a few clouds overhead. We've got actually a big mountain wave cloud overhead right now. That is typical for us here along the Front Range to kind of get these big old mountain wave clouds, and means we got just a little bit of moisture in the mid levels of the atmosphere. And when that moisture hits the mountains, hits the Rocky Mountains, it's kind of forced to go up, and that rising motion leads to those clouds that you're seeing here along the Front Range on this Monday morning. So it's warm and dry for the most part today and tomorrow. Breezy, especially tomorrow, but I think we'll have a little bit of wind for us today as well, especially in the foothills. And then we got some storms likely for us on Wednesday night. That's when I think we are going to be talking about some of those stronger, perhaps a few stronger showers and storms in northeastern Colorado. But for the most part, I don't think this is going to be as high of a risk as we were looking at, for example, last Friday and Saturday. HDD operator, pretty quiet right now, but you look off to the north and west, we do have a weak system that is pushing its way through the Wasatch Mountains of Utah, as well as the Wind River mountain range of Wyoming. That's the one that will clip us with a little bit of that snow for us in the Denver area later on this evening. So as we get into the overnight hours, we could see a few showers, maybe a quick rumble of thunder even this afternoon for us in the mountains along north of I-70. We'll stay dry here along the Front Range. In the mountains, we get that little burst of snow for tonight. Could drop a quick 1 to kind of 4 inches of snow depending on your elevations, and we'll be seeing just a bit of that snow for us in the higher elevations. Temperatures right now, we're already up to 60 for us here in Denver, heading up probably to near 70 degrees for us here in town later on this afternoon. Already a few spots getting close to 70 degrees on the eastern plains. Highs today, 68, seasonally mild for us here in town. And those temperatures on the mild side of average were our average high for today, 64. So it'll be a few degrees above that for today. Highs today, 60s, 70s, eastern plains, 40s, 50s for the most part into the higher elevations. Tonight we drop back to about 43 degrees. It's seasonally mild for us. And tomorrow, a little bit warmer compared to today, a bit windier, or I should say a bit breezier. And we're not talking about anything horrific in terms of the wind, but we will be talking about a bit of a breezier look to things for tomorrow with those highs in the low 70s. It's getting close to about 10 degrees above our seasonal average. Few 80s for us on the eastern plains. But then as we get later on into the week, I think we will be talking about some increased chances for some rain for us for Wednesday and Thursday. Weak ridge of high pressure in place for now. That will give way to a trough of low pressure for Thursday, and that will keep us a little unsettled for Wednesday and Thursday. We'll kind of linger some of those shower and storm chances into Friday, maybe even Saturday as well. So that 7-day forecast, looking at a few of those showers and storms for us on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, maybe into Saturday also, but by the end of the weekend, we should clear things out and warm things on up. Now, I'll say this, a little bit of bad news, unfortunately for us. In our southern mountains, we've really melted off that snowpack very quickly. We've already melted off a good chunk of snowpack for us here in the southern mountains. We've held on to that snowpack much better in our central and northern mountains, where we've had some storms for us in the last few days, last few weeks. But in the southern mountains, we've been just warm and mainly dry. And so that means that our snowpack levels in our southern mountains are struggling right now. And we actually peaked above 100%, all of our 8 major mountain basins, but unfortunately we've seen that number really drop off in recent weeks in our southern mountains in particular. By the way, yesterday was our average last measurable snowfall date for us here in Denver. Of course, that means that about half the time we get measurable snowfall in the month of May. So there's a pretty good chance we're not done yet with the snow here in town. Our average last freeze is next week. So we're getting closer and closer to being done with these freezes, the snow, but we're not done yet. And going back to that 7-day forecast quickly here, I can show you that for Thursday and Friday, we get pretty close to about freezing. So the question I always get is whether or not to turn on your sprinklers, things like that. I do think we're probably all right with that. Just keep in mind, if we do get a freeze this late in the season, that for the most part, your sprinklers are going to be all right. Just if we do drop down to, say, 28, 29 one morning, cover up your backflow preventer. That's the main thing you really want to worry about. Your pipes are not going to freeze if we drop down to the upper 20s, and it's hard to get below the upper 20s this late in the season. We're not talking most likely. It's happened before, but it's very unlikely for us to drop down to, say, the low 20s when we're talking about some real issues with pipes and things like that, freezing. But if we did drop down to, say, 28, 29, 30, which is realistic, and that is a possibility, a little bit of snow possible as well, then you want to cover up that backflow preventer. So you're probably all right to turn on those sprinklers with that 7-day forecast looking okay. We should stay above freezing for the next few nights. If we did drop down to freezing on Thursday morning, it'd be brief and very most likely low impact, but in terms of vegetation, sensitive plants, we're talking about frosts, freezes, we're not there yet. Again, I would hold off until after Mother's Day for that. So a couple more weeks until we can really start getting some of those more sensitive plants into the ground. We can get snow, we can get freezes as late as Memorial Day, even into early June here, folks. So just as a reminder, it is the end of April. It's beautiful today. We're near 70 degrees. Just your repeated reminder, if you're new to us here along the Front Range, we ain't done yet entirely. We're probably not done yet, I should say. Pretty good chance that we still may have another snow chance, maybe even another frost or freeze. Seems pretty likely that we're not entirely done yet. So that's a long ramble about that, but in the meantime, hopefully you get outside and enjoy the beautiful weather for both today and tomorrow. We got some very nice weather ahead for us, and we'll keep you posted on the very latest. I'll be on at 9 News at noon with more details for you, and at 2 p.m. here on 9 News Plus. Then we'll also have Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin in at 4, 5, 6, 9, and 10 tonight on the 9 News family networks. Once again, I'm 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. Have a great rest of your Monday.